Hello, everybody, and welcome for another live webinar from Printify. This is webinar number 3 in our 3-webinar series we are doing on SEO with our guest, Dennis Lazarenkov, who is joining us live from London, England. Hello, Dennis. Thank you for joining us.
Hi, guys. How are you?
Great. So for those of you that are just joining us, you please feel free to consume the previous 2 webinars that we have on this series. You'll find those at printify.com/webinars. And these webinars will eventually make their way onto our YouTube page. So in whatever way you prefer to consume it, please feel free to do so. But there's a lot of information here, a lot of cool stuff, regardless of where you are on your merchant journey, so that you can start applying right away to make yourself a more profitable merchant. Okay. Before we get started, Dennis, I just want to take care of a little bit of housekeeping here. For those of you joining us for the first time, just to let you know, we do a trivia question at the end of today's presentation. And those of you who the first 3 correct answers that are placed into chat will receive a $50 Printify sales credit. Okay. And that trivia question will be based on the information that Dennis provides us in today's webinar. Okay. So pay attention at the end, watch all the way through and answer the trivia question, get yourself $50 of Printify credit. Okay. And as well, at the end of the presentation, we'll be providing you with a downloadable PDF containing all the information and links and stuff like that that Dennis covers, so that you can have that information to go back to and make use of as part of today's experience. Okay. So, and also for those of you who make it all the way through this webinar and make it all the way that have made it through all previous live webinars, we know exactly who you are in terms of our analytics. You will be entered into a random selection where you will receive $100 of Printify sales credit, as well as a Printify hoodie, and we'll reach out to you, make sure we get you the right hoodie size and all that stuff. So if you've already watched the first 2 live webinars all the way through, great job. Make it all the way through this one, consume all the information, apply it, and then at the very end, you'll be entered into a random drawing. We'll get you where one person will win $100 of Printify sales credit and a Printify hoodie. But that does not negate the fact that we'll be having our trivia question at the end. So watch it all the way through. Okay, great. Enough housekeeping from me. Dennis, for those of our viewers that are just joining us for this webinar, maybe you could just give a quick introduction of yourself before we move on.
Sure, Martin. So I'm Dennis Lazarenkov. I'm a CEO at ESA. It's a premium e-commerce agency here in London. I'm also Google Campus alumni and X Top 30 Under 30 in Belarus. So this is the 3rd webinar we're covering, and it's going to be around content and off-page optimization that covers link building and digital PR. So in our last webinars, we were covering how much money you can make with the keyword research, what are your competitors, what the cost you can expect, and we're making all the math and homework. The second one, we covered all the on-page and technical optimization you need to do. So please, if you haven't seen it, come back and try to do it. If not, then you're welcome. And this is the last but not the least webinar. And we're going to cover, as I said, three topics. The first is the content creation, how to create the content for e-commerce right now, because, it's quite a specific thing, e-commerce business. And it's not like you're creating a blog or you're creating some kind of news website. It's really about selling stuff. The second thing is link building, how to make it properly and what approaches work now, because many people say it's impossible or really difficult to do and just skip it. I'll show you the best examples, how the best guys do it now. And also show you the digital PR approach, or how Brandon is calling it, reverse outreach, how you can get backlinks organically every month.
Okay. And if I can just direct one more thing to the audience here, I know you're going to have a lot of questions. This is a topic that you're certainly going to want to know more about. Please put those questions into our chat. Our moderators, Kristaps and Sarang, will do their best to answer all of your questions. But in some cases, if the question is a little technical, no need to worry. We'll follow up with you with an email, but we will leave no question unanswered. Okay, excellent. That's it for me. Dennis, take it away, please.
So our first part is content creation. So for e-commerce shops, you always have 2 parts to cover it. The first is the product content and also blog content. So if you see it as the 3rd webinar, so we were discussing it, why and where you will get those kind of different products. So please come back and watch the first webinar, especially the part with keyword grouping or topic clustering, as we call it. So let's dive in. So this is the ideal product page structure. So it's really simple, because it reminds us of every kind of template we have. Either use Shopify, you use Etsy, you use Amazon. Well, this is like more Amazon stuff. So you usually have the gallery on the top left of your page, then some short description, then the price, buy button, then longer description, some features or bullet points, as we call them. Then you might have use cases, awards, benefits, or any other kind of things, even including frequently asked questions and reviews. So this the ideal thing you need to have. This is what people got used to. Please try to use it. And the best approach that I can recommend here for you is to fill in every and each field of your content in your admin panel. So this is the screenshot of the Shopify admin panel. So try to fill in every kind of field, because it's super important. The more content you have, the better. We were discussing it in our previous webinar. Then when you have a longer content, that means you have bigger possibilities to be in top 1, top 2, or top 3 of the page, because Google loves it. Google loves long content and different content. Like we were mentioning, it should be a text, it should be photos, and also videos, because Google is owning YouTube. This is a search engine inside of the search engine. So please, if you have any video or like this one, you just need to create it for your products, use it, and that's going to be even better. And the best part and the best advice I can usually give is always check Amazon listings. Guys there who are in top 3, they have a huge competition there, and they need just to be the best of the best. So go to Amazon, check them, and right here you can see the example of the product listing, or product tag as we call it, and the description in the bullet points. So try to copy, try to use the best practices. I was showing it in the first webinar, how to use your search boxes in Amazon for your specific search. So you will understand what are your competitors on Amazon doing, and how you can implement it on Etsy, how you can implement it on your own website. All is there. Also, we were checking this reverse content sealer, which is internal linking for the page. So please come back and take a look for the second webinar. And shortly, you need to create this specific structure, that how Google works. So you need to have your specific articles that will be covering your product page directions that you will know from the keyword grouping, as we mentioned on the first webinar. And then you just need to link on the main product page, and from the product page to the main page. And that's it. No other links you need to do, because there have been different arguments how it's better to link on everyone or to link to no one. Well, Kyle Roof, an expert, an SEO expert, he's saying that you need to link to just to your specific page. And inside of the article, you can collect this link juice from everywhere and then just close them. So delete all the links and just link them on the main product page. That's the best practice. That's how advanced SEO managers do. Try to use it here. The next thing that I would like to mention is Brian Dean's course. It's called Grow Your Blog Fast. So as some of you know, Brian actually sold his business, his backlink business, to SEMrush. So right now it's a part of SEMrush. But before it, he was making a lot of amazing courses, and one of them is how you can grow your blog fast. I cannot open to you, I cannot show you all the things, but I can mention the main trends that Brian already made in public. So I'll try to cover you what kind of content you can use in 2022 that works now. And the first trend that Brian was mentioning is how he called it ridiculously long list, or also well-known skyscraper technique. Like, it made a lot of hype maybe 8 to 9 years ago, when Brian just launched his Google 200 ranking factors, the complete list, and he's updating it regularly every year. And it was a game changer for him and his blog business, because what Brian is doing, he's actually creating these kind of articles, then collecting all those users in the email list, and then selling his courses like this one that I'm describing, so to students. And I'm one of those students. And what does it mean, skyscraper technique? That means you analyze your competitors that right now listed with their articles and make 2 times, 3 times, 5 times, or even 10 times longer, deeper, and more qualitative content that there is on the market. So when you do it really long, like not like top 10 hints, top 25, but you do it like 100, 200, 300 hints, and make it, you know, like with a lot of useful information with links, content, infographics inside. People see, they say, wow, that's an amazing thing. And that's where your content becomes a skyscraper among the others' content, and people just started to link on it, use it, type it on Twitter and everywhere. So that is the first example. It works really good. So we used it for one of our clients, and they had 25 to 30 online community statistics. We changed it to 105 online community statistics to know the complete list, made approximately 65 infographics inside, really unique per each specific thing, and analyzed among 70 different data sources, research on the market, and linking on them. And that become a game changer for them. I'll describe you how we were promoting this kind of a list, but right now this kind of page is the second after the main page that driving organic traffic for the whole website. The next trend that I'd like to mention is step-by-step guide. So they usually mentioned like the complete SEO checklist, the complete checklist for, I don't know, jeans, how to make an amazing cocktail or something. So you are collecting all the kind of things by step following the people. So this is pretty what we're doing now with our webinars, but in more like way somewhere on your blog. So you're collecting all the possible variants, all the recipes, and people start linking them. So I'm leaving these links in the PDF, and also you'll have these links in this presentation. So you just click on them, read them, and try to implement in your business. And Brian's saying like, hey, this is like one of my best ways, one of my best variants of my content that I'm using now, and try to use it by yourself. And the third trend for 2022 is how I did it posts. So people are really looking for specific guides, you know, how to do this, how to do that, how I increased my conversion 7 times, how I made, how I increased revenue from $100 to $2 million in 1 year, you know, those kind of things people are really looking for. So try to create this kind of content, and people will be really thankful to you. And this kind of content is also really personal. It also has a lot of narrative. And that's why people are, they will reply to it, they will ask questions, and what is more important for SEO, they will share this kind of content. So these are 3 things that I'd like to mention. The next.
Okay, before we move on, I just want to remind everybody that's watching that yes, we will be having that trivia question. So stay tuned until the end, based on the information that Dennis is providing. But if you want to make use of Dennis's services, you can connect with him through our Printify Experts program. We'll put that link in the chat. Click on that, and you can make use of his services, as well as find whatever it is you need to help you along your merchant journey. We have experts ranging from all aspects of the print-on-demand universe. If you need help with this, you need help with that, you can find it on the Printify Experts program. So make use of that. Okay. All right, Dennis, let's move on with section number 2.
So we created amazing piece of content. We created either blog post or product pages or product listings. What's next? I mean, like you can launch ads, but we are talking about SEO. It's usually about link building. So we need to create those links. We need to get those followers for your specific product pages. How to do that? I'll show you how. So the main thing you should understand with the link building is actually 3 things: quantity, authority, and relevance. So these are 3 main elements you need always to take into account to know either those links are good or not, and how to do it. What is quantity? So the quantity is easy. It's the number of other websites that are linking on your specific page. So when you have just 2 websites linking on your page and like 8 other websites, so this website with 8 links will win, but not always. The next thing is called authority. So authority This is actually a complex metric, and before it was named PageRank, and even now Stanford is owning this brand, and that's why all the other services they're using, like Ahrefs, they're using domain rating, SEMrush using authority score. But this is a complex metric, understanding how big the authority of this resource. So you can either check it there, or you can check by yourself. Like for instance here, you can see that a New York Times link and Stanford University link will be much higher, even when there are two of them, comparing to all unknown websites like you can see right here on the screen. So that means it's more you need to hunt for those kind of links, and not for the number of them. Well, numbers are important, but more importantly, the weight of those links. And the more trustful this resource, the more credible, the better is for your website. Okay. And the third thing we mentioned is relevance. So you have a number of links, great authority links, but if they're links from non-relevant topics or non-relevant articles or any non-relevant pages, that means it's worse than all the websites that are relevant to your niche, that are relevant to your content that they're describing. And that's what matters for the Google, because you remember we were discussing in our second webinar that Google is actually searching for the best answers on the questions of their users. So your page is the answer to intent that people have, and we covered 4 intents in our second webinar as well. So right here, you need to combine all of them. So quantity, then also authority, and also relevancy. So when you have all of them, you understand that those links are good, and you can create your link building strategy. So just as a small sum up, links conclusion. So first of all, more links is better than fewer links. That's the first rule. The second one, links from relevant sites are better than links from irrelevant sites. Relevancy, you understand it from your topic, pages, and what they have. High authority sites are better than low authority sites. One link from many sites is better than many links from one site, and that's what you should understand. So when you get already one link from the one website, there's no need to come back and ask for each kind of page. Of course, it's good to have, but Google will not take it into account so much as when you have like many different websites. So Google calling them donors. So they are like similar to followers in Instagram. So how many followers does your website or that page, specific one, have? And also body links are more important than site-wide links, like in header, footer, or sidebar. So body links, that means inside of the text. So that's why when somebody's telling, hey, I'm going to put it inside of my inside of my website, somewhere in the footer or somewhere there, better if you have it inside of the article, because Google understand, oh, it's a really important thing. So somebody is making this quote and the citation, or use it as a link. So that is valuable. So I will rank it higher. Okay. Many people are saying that, hey, like link building is so difficult. I'm an SEO. I'm actually an e-commerce merchant. I have so many things to do. I have so many things with my delivery, with the promotion, with all this stuff. I mean, I try to find it, but either it's some kind of bullshit things like the platforms that are giving you recommendations with buying their links, or it's usually like, how can I manage the whole thing? People are coming to me, and actually the problem is that many people are coming to you and saying, hey, I actually am an SEO specialist. I offer quality backlinks to support your domain. You can publish your article on these articles, follow the link, and pay us the money, and we'll do the rest. No guarantees, nothing. And that's how people are bombed every day. You should understand that like link building is like writing to people to get the link to your article, and that's what they get. So that's a huge thing. So the solution to this thing is actually to think outside of the box. So you need to understand that, like, I'm like a business owner, or you like a business owner, you might get those emails every day, and you might not even notice them. So you need somehow to be different. You need somehow a different approach, and there is an approach that works the best. Is you are writing as the freelance writer. Like if you are checking and you are checking different platforms like Forbes or Bloomberg or any others, there are plenty of freelance writers that are actually covering the topics that you need those backlinks from. And that's the thing. So like, if you're a writer, if you're a freelance writer, it's much easier to make this guest posting on the platform, and then to make this link either somewhere in your name, or all over the text, if they allow it to, because sometimes they allow. And this is the best thing. So not like SEO, not like business owner, like a content writer. And there have been several tactics that use, and I think the best outreach guest posting guy on the market is Matt Diggity. So he has an amazing YouTube channel. Subscribe to it, and I just made several screenshots from this video for you. So actually, I'll mention 3 of them. The first one is rewrite the old content. So when you already see some of the articles there, you might notice, oh, that it was updated like in 2020. And you write this kind of email to say, hey, first name, I'll cut the chase. You have this article on a site written in 2020 that used to perform well in Google. It seems that your content has aged, and a lot of the facts you referenced have become outdated. I've just completed a round of research on this topic and would like to write it for you. I've done this before for and your website name or your partner's name with this specific name of the articles. I'm available upon your reply. Regards, Matt. And this is it. They see that you are a guy who knows what he's doing. You've noticed a good content that needs to be updated. You already did it before. You have some references, and you come in and say, hey, I can do it for free, and most likely people answer it. So that's the first thing. The second one is to pitch your rankable content. So when you already have some content and you've created it, like with the previous approach, you can come and say, hey, I actually have an amazing content, and I can write it for you for free. And here it might be the email copy. Hey, John, I'm the content editor for this kind of website, a long time reader of HubSpot, ever since 2014, when you guys were just starting to become a force online. I was doing some research and found some topics pieces that you could easily produce and pull traffic for. In fact, why stamps rank for them, and they have a small fraction of your authority. 43 days, 23 days, 15 days. I'd like to write one of these for you, free, of course, just trying to get more publication work. I've actually done these before on this website, which now ranks number 3 for their topic. If this sounds good, please choose which topic you'd like, and I'll start this evening. Regards, Matt. And like Matt was mentioning, if people are not answering on this kind of approach, that means you're cursed, and there's nothing that can help you with that, because you just provide the value, say that you're an expert with that, you do it for free, and you can start ASAP. And even you see that he was approaching HubSpot, so you have all the possibility, if you have good content, a piece of content, or for instance you're using a freelancer, so you might be this outreach manager, and then your freelancer might join and write it for you. So this is the approach. And the next one that I like a lot is actually we're using now in our agencies 2-for-1 guest posts. So it's more about partnerships. So when you create a partnership, so you usually get a lot of emails every day, like people like, hey, can you just type a guest post? Like, I'd like to write a guest post on Printify.com. Can you please do it? And how Matt is actually doing it. He said, hey, first name, actually, I don't allow guest posting on my own site, but just like you, I run guest posting campaigns myself. How about we do this? Whenever I land a guest post, I'll sneak you a link in the content. You do the same for me, and we'll keep things even by tracking in spreadsheet. How does it sound? And boom, you have a partner already, that you can work with. And this kind of approach allows you, so whenever someone get these guest links already, they might write about you. So you'll have a gang already of people that are writing about the same stuff, and you'll help and link on each other. So those kind of 3 approaches I use, and they work really good.
Okay. Well, I'm taking away a lot of really cool stuff from that. And what I'm learning is that SEO itself as a science is really a response or a testament to how sophisticated the AI is nowadays with these search engines. And what I like is that what you're doing is you're presenting us with best practices, do this, do that. You know, these links are better than these links, but then these links are also better than those links, so that the merchants out there know exactly how things stand now. Would you agree with that statement?
Yeah, definitely. But it's still all about the same. I mean, it's all about the content and the backlinks. Like, and usually Brian likes to say, "Hey, what is the secret for 2022?" in our, like, closed mastermind group, and he said, "Hey, it's always the same: content and backlinks." And like Brian has a different approach. He's saying, "Hey, like, doing this kind of guest posting and also outreach and all this stuff, it's a really time consuming and costs you a lot of nerves, time, and money in the end. So why not to create an amazing content that will collect the backlinks organically and to hack the whole system?" And that's exactly what I want to cover now, because like you've mentioned, like, oh wow, okay, guess posting, but still I need to write these emails. I need to find someone who's going to write this kind of content for me, or I need to sit down and write it for free. Well, I have so much things to do. Maybe there's another approach, maybe another way how I can do it. And actually, yes, there is. It's called digital PR, or as Brian is calling it, reverse outreach. So when people beckon to you and start writing to you. And there was amazing another course of Brian, and he called it Get Press Every Month. So the best way to get press right now. And unfortunately, it's closed already, and I don't think that Brian will mention it. But he made it publicly, and he made it. The article is called "How I Built 5,600 Backlinks in 30 Days and Use Strategy." So just follow the link that I'll drop you in a PDF, or just click here in the presentation. So what it is about. So we actually made this kind of thing during the course and made it for several clients. And this is the roadmap. So I'm giving you the roadmap of a real client, and I'll be giving you the example how we did it, so you can follow step by step. And the first things you need to do is to choose a topic. So you need to understand what is the trend, what is the lake of data, what was covered with your topic, how to do it. Actually, if you have these examples, Google spreadsheet that I covered with you with our SEO plan, I also added already the fifth tab, which is PR research, where you can take all your keywords, all your groups, topic clusters with the approximate search traffic, divide them into different kind of things. Then you have the columns, and where we analyze in either it's exploding topic or not, either it's in Google Trends or not, either people are mentioning it on Twitter or not, how often they're clicking. And then we prioritize all the topics from the PR perspective, how they might be covered by journalists and so on. Just dive in if you really need it. So I already made it for you, and choose your topic. Or you can just analyze it by yourself. And the golden rule here is to choose a tangential topic. So it should not be too narrow, it should be broad, and it should be some kind of hype there inside. Like, is e-commerce dead? Everybody is moving to drop shipping right now. Like trends of drop shipping in 2022, something like that, or like with this kind of online community that I will show you over here is what we did. So the guys are doing actually SaaS business. They are providing online community groups independently from Facebook, right on your website. So the guy, a CEO and founder, he asked Facebook Messenger senior developer, and he said, well, everybody is so connected to those Facebook groups, and Facebook is not allowing you to show even the messages inside the business, and it's all broken. People just don't like it, so they need to have their own forums, their own blogs right on their website. So this is their business model. And actually what we did is they had already some kind of piece of the content, like 25 community statistics to know. And we understood, okay, so maybe we can use this skyscraper technique with ridiculously long list and create something like a curated report, because they actually, three of them. It's a survey where you can launch Google surveys. It's actually a paid service, and you can analyze like 1,000 or 1,000 or 1,500 people, like about some questions that people are asking in Google. Like they have this Google FAQ, like, hey, what is dropshipping trends, dropshipping products, how to make money on Etsy, and then many kind of questions there inside. and there have been answers. So you just collect all these questions and answers, drop them into Google service, collect them from American market or from UK market, and say, hey, this we actually asked 1,500 people on Google survey, and that's what they said about dropshipping. And that might be one of the formats of your research. Another one might be DIY study, but that is more about like Printify or SEMrush or Ahrefs. When you have a lot of data, you have a lot of merchants, you have a lot of people, and then you might say, hey, we want to analyze how they're behaving or how the whole dropshipping thing changed, for instance, after the COVID. That's the DIY study. And curated report is like you collect all the information that is on the market, and you collect every kind of research kind of piece they have. You make amazing infographics or amazing content there and just form it into a long research. This is actually what we've chosen here. We just collected all the kind of research since 2019 till 2022, updated it, and gave the long list. So just to not mention here, you just click on here and you can see how long it is. But and after it, you said, okay, so I know the topic, I know the format. What I need to do next? You need to collect the data. And that's a lot of thing actually to do. You need to collect it either from your databases, or you need to launch this Google service, or you need to collect them from the internet. How we made it for this specific thing. When you have all the content, you need to leave just from 12 to 10 points, the main points you might have, and write the whole report. It takes a lot of time. Like I was writing by myself approximately a month, and after it, when it's done, you need to promote it. And there have been several strategies how to make it. One of them is to come to influencers in your topic and say, hey, this is actually the data we found out. What do you think? Is it what you're working with or not? And we actually used it in our report over here, and we invited 5 different business owners concerning online community. Like, hey, like, do you agree that Facebook groups are actually broken? And there are a lot of shit and fan happening there. Like, we need to launch it. Yeah, actually, I agree with that. And what we did, we actually were linking on their website, and then after we launched, we said, hey, we actually launched the whole research. Maybe you can mention us on your socials. Nevertheless, thanks for mentioning, thanks for participating, and that's it. And approximately 3 from 5 people that mentioned it on their Twitter, on their socials, on their blog, said, hey, this is like the citation I made. This is like the thing I agree. Amazing research. Take a look, and that's what we have. This is one of the strategies for the promotion. Another one, which is one of the best, and I would like to show you, it's called the data-driven press release. Many people telling me, like, Dennis, press releases are dead, and Brian Dean, in his study, his article, his course, he said, guys, absolutely not, because I made a survey among journalists. 90% of all journalists, they use press releases before they publish their content. So they come to this old-fashioned way of press release. They read this bullshit thing, and then they need to write about it. So they're coming to it. And when you provide them with some data-driven press release, with some data inside, freshly collected, brand new, they use your press release, they use your article, where inside of this press release will be the link to your article. And actually, we just launched it with this specific online community statistics article on Newswire, and this is like newswire.com. This is a huge thing for the journalists. And just in one day, we got 226 published, those media who published us publications, 725 websites. They mentioned this kind of press release on their websites. One of the influencers mentioned us on Twitter, and we got 1,347 views on this specific press release, because we had this press release and the links inside. And you can only imagine who made the backlinks on this report. It was AP News with domain authority of 92. It was Yahoo. It was Digital Journal. It was Yahoo News Australia. It was Herald Register. It was the headline tag, and many others. I mean, like so approximately 200 different mass media sites in just one day. So you just made this press release and said, hey, what amazing data, we want to make it. And usually it's like big whales are coming there, they're using it like in the articles, and then smaller fish, they come there, and then come the bloggers. And that's how you collect the whole mass. And you can only imagine that they're linking right on your article. And then from this article, you might say, hey, what are the results actually? So that is the backlinks profile from Ahrefs from this specific page before we launched it, because we were taking, okay, what is the before data? The domain rating was around 42, 11 backlinks, and 9 referee domains. So this is what they got during the whole year of this article. Some organic keywords, some organic traffic, but we were mostly interested in backlinks. And that's the data after 1 month after we launched. So domain rating already increased to 50, 34 backlinks, and they were still indexing on the go, and 28 referring domains. So we jumped from 42 to 50 domain rate in just 1 month. Just 1 month.
Wow.
And that's you know, like for those people who don't understand what is this, that means when you have a domain rating and it's increased, it means like it gives the juice, and it gives the boost for all the pages. So all the pages that have the domain rating is the overall authority of the website. So all the URL ratings are going higher, and that means even your product pages that were stuck somewhere on the 5th, on the 6th, 8th places, they were like in top 3, in top 2, and guys just starting. They have like 30 to 40 demos monthly, and after it, they started to get from 80 to 90 demos monthly just from the organic traffic. So that is the thing.
Wow. Wow. That's absolutely amazing stuff. And basically it's a testament to the fact that this works. These practices works. Do these things, do it in the way you describe, and these are the potential results, but you got to believe in the process, right?
Yeah. I mean, just write this just read this article. It's complete there. So just follow the instructions. It's a how I did it post from Brian Dean, how he made this kind of thing. Just try to follow them. We follow them with all these kind of steps, get those results. And moreover, we're also providing these kind of services to bigger companies right now, because, you know, they head of a digital coming to me of booking and said, hey, you know, some of our positions are stuck actually, and without SEO, we don't know how to improve it. And I say, hey, actually, it's reverse outreach, you know, like digital PR. So we create amazing content you have with a lot of DIY study from your data. We optimize it per each geography. We make this promotion among journalists. They're linking on it. Then, like a snowball, come in all the rest website. They give you all the juice, and then using the silo structure, we just turn off all the backlinks and just put all the links to our main product pages or the pages that are stuck, and this is it. And then all the juices come in there, and your pages are beginning to grow. And this is an advanced SEO strategy I'm sharing with you right now. This is exactly what we are using, and I should tell you guys, getting 5,600 backlinks in just 30 days, it's possible. You know, we didn't get so many because we're not Brian Dean, but we got approximately 725 backlinks from Google, and 226 PR backlinks from those kind of giants that we would never get without this data-driven PR research. So use it. We use it for e-commerce SEO specifically. So we make this kind of research on the blog, and then we collect all this information and give it to our like category pages or product pages. We will sometimes use some frames with the products inside. I mean, the sky is the limit.
Okay. Wow.
And thank you for your attention.
Well, wonderful stuff. Now, we have covered a lot of material in these in this 3 webinar series, Dennis, and I just want to thank you for sharing your time with us and sharing all this with our pleasure. Merchants. Again, this will be available. All the links and everything like that will be supplied to you in a downloadable PDF. We'll put that into the chat so you can make use of it itself. But there's something here for everybody. And what I want to look at, I just want to back up and kind of look at everything we've covered in these 3 webinars
sure.
and look at it holistically for a minute about SEO being it's more than just keywords. If you don't know the entire structure of SEO, you might think it's just, oh, I just look at some keywords, what's popular, put it in there, and then my job is done. But what you're doing is giving us an entire picture of the entire process. Something that was new to me that I learned was rewriting of old content. Now, which was kind of a game changer for me, because, and I'm sure a lot of people out there are thinking the same thing. I write some content and it's kind of set it and forget it. But actually going back and rewriting it actually makes a lot of sense. So thank you for that. I learned something too. And and about today's webinar about the 2-for-1 guest posts. Yeah, there's plenty of people out there just like you, just like us, that want to work together to grow and come together. And that's actually a great strategy, a great free strategy where you can exchange your time and effort with somebody else that's willing to provide that same service for you, and you can all grow together. I think it's wonderful, sort of like a community aspect, a community way of building together. So all sorts of great stuff. Now, but if I were to ask you one final question, because again, we're dealing with all sorts of viewers that are at different stages of their merchant journey. Some people may be intimidated by all this information. It's just there's so much coming at you. I don't know where to start. I don't know what to do. I don't know. Maybe I should skip this section, skip that section. But let's put everything aside and let's say I am brand new to this. This is my first day. I've just started my website. What is the most important thing to know just starting out?
So I usually start from the thing that actually you need to fill in all the content you can. Like I was an e-commerce owner by myself in 2013, and we sold our shop that we grew from scratch to one of the biggest shops in our country in home products. So I know what I'm talking. So you really need to spend time on filling all the content you can and make it as unique as possible. Because when I was spending time on creating unique photos, unique description, this is exactly why all these fashion brands, all these big brands, they are making these photo shoots regularly and update all this kind of content. This is how it works. You need to play the same game, the same rules. So try not to skip it. Try to spend your time and cover all you can. After it, when you already have your website covered with all the content, you need to cover the main things with the technical and on-page optimization. So Google will understand the relevancy, and there will be no such big mistakes, like, I don't know, like layout in the mobile version or something else. Because right now, everybody's buying for mobile, and like most of the e-commerce shops that come into us actually m-commerces, so mobile commerce businesses, and just don't forget about it. And the next one, when you already did it, I also recommend to launch something fast, and that's why we usually saying, like, hey, SEO is a huge thing. It has a lot of potential, but you already need something to work with. That's why when people are coming to me saying, hey, I'm starting from scratch, I say, guys, start from the paid advertising. And I remember, Martin, you were sharing that you had amazing webinars about Facebook ads. That's an amazing thing to start with. Just watch this kind of video over there and start from something. So the traffic will be coming, and you will understand how it's performing, what to improve, and you can make it after it. And when you have already first results, you already tested and people are starting buying, you said, hey, how can I scale? How can I speed up? How can I get it more? Or like I'm too connected to paid advertising. I turn off my ads budget, and this is it. I'm naked. So what should I do here? And that's where you come into SEO, because SEO is saying, okay, so you already have something, you already launched it, and you already have some listing on Etsy, you have some listing on Amazon, you already tested with ads. But either you're not satisfied or you want more, to say, hey, where I can dig in. And this is exactly where our first webinar was about. So you collect all the keywords, like we were mentioning there, just follow all these steps. You need to eat your own food there and just follow all the steps. You collect them, you understand what is your potential, and then you go step by step. You collect these clusters, then you analyze your competitors, you create your own SEO plan. And then if you want, you can estimate the cost, ROIs, and then make the proper prediction. Say, okay, now I have the budget or 1,500 euro per month or something from a business coming. I want to invest it into the SEO, and most probably it's going to reinvest or coming back to me in like 2-3 months or something, you know. And that's where the whole thing's starting. And then you just turn on your second webinar with the content and technical optimization, so you can improve it even more. And then you're coming to content creation and link building to boost the whole thing. You say, okay, so now I know how to invest the content. I already created it. I understand why I need to pay to the content writer. I understand why I need to pay to researcher. I understand. I tried my guest posting and I tried that, this and that. Either it worked for me or not, or you want to reverse outreach. You are testing with your business model and the whole thing. You have the whole plan. You're testing it with the content creation and link building. And here you are, you already have the second traffic channel with SEO. You boost it, and now you have established business, or even 1 million or 2 million business for yourself.
Wonderful, wonderful. And I really appreciate you laying out this sort of roadmap to success for our merchants. And if I can just put a cherry on this before we end this series, is that how important the data analytics part of this is whatever you do, analyze it. And that way you can see where in which areas you're lacking. Then you can go in, identify those, optimize that, and then once you get everything humming and everything working, that's when you can really start to make that conversion rate to get it to work for you, because then you can start pumping money into your ads, driving more traffic, et cetera, when the math makes sense to do so. And then you can replicate this already successful business model and apply it to other niches, other sales platforms, and really start to grow your e-commerce empire. So again, thank you so much for sharing your time with us. All the information is available in a downloadable PDF. We'll put that into the chat. For those of you that made it all the way through all 3 webinars, you'll be entered into a random drawing where we will select one of you to receive $100 in Printify sales credit and a Printify hoodie. We'll be in contact with the winner to get the correct hoodie size, so we send you the right one. But I promised our viewers today that we would do a trivia question. So without further ado, based on today's information that Dennis provided, here is the trivia question. What is the modern approach for getting backlinks organically for e-commerce business? And this is something that we covered earlier. The first 3 correct answers that go into chat will win $50 of Printify sales credit. We'll be in touch with the winners. And again, the question is, what is the modern approach for getting backlinks organically for e-commerce businesses? Okay, wow, that was a mountain of information across 3 webinars. I highly encourage everyone watching to revisit these webinars at printify.com/webinars, and eventually they'll make its way onto our YouTube channel. You can watch it there as well. But take advantage of this gold mine of information that Dennis has shared with you. And if you would like to get in touch with Dennis and take care and make use of his services, you can do that through our Printify Experts program. That link is in the chat. And if, regardless of what sort of help you need along your e-commerce journey, you can find it in the Printify Experts program, where we connect you with the resources you need to be profitable. Okay. Wow. Dennis, amazing. Thank you so much. We really appreciate you sharing your time. So for everyone out there, make use of his information, use it to make yourself more profitable. And thank you so much for joining us, Dennis. Thank you. And we'll see you all for our next webinar. Thank you all for joining, and goodbye.
Thanks all. Bye.